This is some Mother's Day Madness esoteric talk. I'm going to be ranting about mother archetypes in the tarot, in Kabbalah, and maybe doing a couple of short reads. Hey Bong, hey Ali, hey Stacy, welcome to Mother's Day Madness Esoterica. That's the title that just came out. This is not planned. This is Mother's Day Madness Esoterica, where I'm going to talk about mother archetypes throughout the tarot, Kabbalistically, and some other things, maybe give a few readings here and there before I have to jump off. Cool. So where should we start? Before I jump into this, because it's a lot. Hey, Shelly. Mother's Day Madness Esoterica. Hey, Unique. Thank you for joining. This is Mother's Day Madness Esoteric Rant. I'm going to be talking about motherly archetypes and patterns and stuff. So let's begin. Does anyone want a quick read before I jump into this? Because once I'm in, it's going to be hard to get out. Okay, cool. So I'm going to jump into this and let me know if you have any questions, because there's a lot of ideas that will portal into other ideas. So the big thing let's start with the Empress, right? Because we really have to start with the Priestess. I mean, let's find the Priestess first. So everyone knows what tarot is. Tarot is like the second leading religion in the United States, one being astrology. It's the national religion. We know that. And tarot is a close second. So everyone knows what tarot is. We're going to start with the High Priestess and go into the Empress, because these two cards and the Magician. Honestly, the Magician and the Fool are really everything, okay? 0 is the Fool, 1 is the Magician. Together they create the binary that creates the entire universe. And then we get a little more complicated, because the relationship between 0 and 1, what that relationship is actually the High Priestess, which is the mystery being the relationship between everything, which allows something to exist. For something to exist, it has to be differentiated by something else. And this is very Kabbalistic and stuff. Our High Priestess is also called the Shekinah, which is the Kabbalistic kind of like the Kabbalistic daughter, the divine feminine that manifests the earth, which is an irony, because the High Priestess is actually so spiritualized, being connected to the moon, and also where she's on the Tree of Life, which is something that we'll go to in a second. But pretty much all you have to know right now is that the Fool, let me find the Fool so we can kind of really put this all into perspective. Honestly, I believe if you understand these first cards, like from a cosmic lens, then the tarot builds itself up from there, as opposed to starting from like, is he going to text me back? Which is where I normally start. But yeah, starting from the cosmic lens is really fun. Kind of like the really theoretical, unknown, Kabbalistic, mystical lens of like, what the fuck is going on? So let me find this Fool and this Magician, and we'll get started. It's already been several minutes, and I'm not even talking about moms yet. Okay. So this is Mother's Day Madness Esoterica Rant, where I'm going to talk about motherly archetypes in the tarot for a little bit, maybe give some readings, maybe talk about the queens too, but I don't have the most time. Hey everyone, welcome. If you have any questions on the ideas, just leave them in the comments. I'd love to. A lot of this stuff portals into other stuff. So what we're talking about is the entire universe can be built from the Fool, really, but then the Fool and the Magician, right? Because we have 0, 1, 0, and 1 creates a binary to create everything, which creates the ultimate, the relationship and distance that exists to create things. Together, you see them in the High Priestess, who is duality itself, but not really duality in the sense of like manifestation yet. We're still pretty high up on the tree. We're still mystical. We're still like up there in the mysteries, but she's kind of like the idea of form before it happens. Okay. The magical moment is when we go from High Priestess, which is like the quiet mom, to the Empress, which is like the loud mom, the magic mom. And what happens here is there's kind of a prism. So in a lot of decks, we'll look at the Priestess and she'll be connected to virgin deities or virgin archetypes. She is just virginity. She is in some ways Diana. Can be Artemis, depending on your system, but she's really the moon. but the kind of like the high exalted moon. So there's two moons in the tarot. There's the High Priestess, and then there's the actual moon card. The actual moon card is more connected to the influence of the moon upon the earth. You know, the crazies. Okay, so the High Priestess is like the spiritualized moon, the mystery of the moon, the unknown of the moon. And what happens when we go from High Priestess to the Empress is that the High Priestess is actually impregnated by the Magician, because, you know, everything is in tarot is sexual. One thing that we have to, like, admit in a lot of mystical traditions is that they are old, and because they are old, they are outdated. So there is a lot of, like, misogyny and sexism and a lot of stupid shit that comes with a lot of mysticism. So that's why in all mysticism you see, like, the masculine energy coming from spirit to descend and save the feminine matter. You know, I know it's trash, but if we can get over that and just look at it more as energy, as positive and negative, then it's a little bit more fun. Take away what you will. You know, mysticism is something that's built up within us. It's not, and transmitted, but really built up within us. It's like, it's transmitted and you received and it's experienced, but it's not like, it's not law. It's, I mean, Torah, T-O-R-A, that's another little wormhole we can get into. So it is kind of law, but that's a whole nother thing. Woo! See what I mean? It's cheese of wormholes. If you're just arriving here, this is the Mother's Day Madness Esoteric Rant. And what we're talking about now is the priestess, the sacred feminine getting impregnated by the magician, the sacred masculine, to create the Empress, and then ultimately the Emperor. But what's happening here on the psychological level is that the magician is the consciousness itself, okay? Oneness, consciousness. Fool is also consciousness, but another thing. Magician, consciousness itself, which is expanding infinitely. And then the High Priestess is the subconscious that can reflect and ultimately deduce from the conscious experience, okay? So when the subconscious comes to play, it has to do with memory, and it kind of goes into all of our files, wherever that is. I'm not a psychologist. I just pretend to be sometimes. Hypothalamus, amygdala, you know, going through the files. Hypothalamus getting you hype, you know, when you have emotional reactions for something. Hype it up. That's the High Priestess, because she's going into memory. She's going to pull a file out, and she's deducing something. She's giving meaning to something from a past experience, from a memory that is created in your mind. After experiencing it consciously in the magician. So what happens when the subconscious deduces something? The very deduction is actually the work of the Empress, because the Empress is the storehouse of infinite images. So when the subconscious gets impregnated by conscious thought and conscious experience, the subconscious deduces images through projections, memories, and all these things, subjective experience on the inside, which is actually the Empress. And I didn't even talk about her sexual aspects yet, or physical. This is just the psychological aspects. So she's like the infinite storehouse of images and memory and projection and ideas in our creative mind. She's creativity itself on the largest scale. So the act of the subconscious bringing to the conscious mind thoughts, images, plans, ideas, creative thinking, all of that. You know, I feel 70,000 thoughts a day. Boom, Empress. And by the way, 70,000, 7 is the number of Venus, which is also the Empress. The Empress is Venus. Venus being, you know, Aphrodite and love and pleasure and values. That's where we look to find somebody's values in their birth chart. Values, what they think about, which is what she governs. See, we don't normally see the Empress as so very mental, but she is. She's the ability of the mind to go completely everywhere in the most beautiful way, in all of our cherished fantasies and all of our nightmares and horrors. She governs all of that. And she also governs all of that in the material world. So I'm sorry to say this, and I don't want to offend anyone, but coronavirus exists in the Empress, you know? And so does the everything else. All health, all disease, all organisms everywhere on every level exists in the Empress. There was a really good quote, I think it was Rachel Pollack, but I don't remember who said it, in one of her books, that was like, yeah, the Empress governs all the beautiful animals and the plants, but also the disgusting slimes and the fungi and the things that, in the, you know, the pest control. She has no limit. So this is so important to recognize. The Empress has no limit, okay? The Emperor has limit. And that's the beauty of the Empress don't play. That's right. Empress out to teach you a lesson. That's right. The Empress don't play. And she is just chilling. And there's a very interesting relationship between her and Justice that I kind of want to get into right now, but I don't really want to get into. But I'm just going to go with it because this is an esoteric rant. By the way, welcome to the, what did I call it? Mother's Day Madness Esoteric Rant, where I'm talking about motherly archetypes through the Tarot, Kabbalah, and other stuff. So, real quick, her relationship with Justice is actually Venus, because Justice is Libra, and, you know, that's clear because of the scales. And Libra is ruled by Venus, and this rulership is actually one of my favorites because Venus is love, right? And Justice is actually the Newtonian universe. So the universe in its organization of cause and effect. I can't find the Justice card because I'm excited because I'm live. So I want you to just meditate on that for a second while I'm looking for Justice. Just feel that. Love, the Venus, love, ruling Libra, which is the Newtonian universe of cause and effect. The ability of the universe to knock into itself. Sounds like a good match to me. And more deeply, Justice is the manifest universe, which does that. Because I feel like the higher universe is when we go into, like, the upper planes, whether that's, Bria or Yetzirah or whatever. The higher planes don't do that as much, but definitely the material plane. So Justice is our material-ish plane order of cause and effect, whether we're looking at that legally or materially. So this is Libra, this is Venus, Venus rules Libra. And in some ways, Justice is love in manifestation, or love and the mind's capacity to create all these infinite ideas, the storehouse of all images, manifested in time, right? And Saturn is, I'm sorry, I think, did I get that wrong? Does Saturn rule? No, Saturn's exalted in Libra. I don't know. Somebody check me. Yes, I'm a Libra. I'm not a professional astrologer, but no, yeah, I think, yeah, Venus rules Libra, and Saturn is exalted. So Saturn is time, right, which is exalted in Libra, which is the manifest universe of cause and effect. So big thing there. Like, meditate on that, play with that, chew on that for a while. It'll bring you a lot of fun stuff. Cool. So, and we even see some color connections in these cards with the yellow and the red and green and a lot of stuff. So I don't think I'm going to go into the symbolism of this card because you can just get that in any book. I want to go into like the underlying, the good stuff that makes you go like, what? Okay, so we're talking about welcome to Mother's Day Madness Esoteric Rant. By the way, everyone, I forgot to plug myself. I'm going to teach a Master Tarot course. It's something I've been putting off for a long ass time. I'm going to do it. It's going to be wild though. It's not going to be like your auntie's mama tarot course. It's going to be the mothership. Speaking of Mother's Day, it's going to be the mothership. So if you're interested in that, message me your email. That's important. If you're interested in the Master Tarot course, message me. It's going to be like a 3-month, 12-week banger, man. No, it's going to be really deep. And I think what I'm going to be doing is focusing on the esoteric underlying structure, because I feel like that's harder to... Every book's going to tell you the meanings of the cards, and we're going to do that, but we're going to really go through the esoteric structure. So, for example, what those pomegranates are doing there, what the Torah has to do being in her lap, and why does she have BJ? Is she easy? What's going on here with the priestess? And she's not easy. She's actually the hardest one. But what's the deal with this? Why is there an ocean behind the tree of life? And how this fits into this, kind of like what I'm doing in this little thing. So if you're interested on that Tarot Master course, message me your email, okay? And I'm thinking I'm gonna it's gonna be a small group because it's gonna be really deep, and we're gonna take the esoteric material and use it in daily life, through healing, coaching, and also there's gonna be a lot of tarot business stuff as well. So we're gonna be really working on our businesses and marketing and how to ethics, all that stuff. So that's a lot. Oh, my alarm's going off. Sorry, my alarm went off because I have to get somewhere very soon. So I covered about 0.1% of the material I wanted to get through, but that's fine because this is an esoteric rant. So if you're interested in the Mothership Tarot course, we're really going to go down the wormhole and also start your tarot business. then, because I'm a Capricorn, you can see it, right? Then send me your email and let me know what you're interested in the course, because I'm still building it right now. There's going to be, but yeah, I'm thinking like 5 or 6 people, maybe, yeah, 6 other people plus me equals 7. 7 is Venus, which is love, so yeah. Okay, cool. So the thing with the Empress, I'm gonna really want to get into the meat of the matter here, because there's something so beautiful about the Empress, and it's probably one of the things that I've personally, my favorite things that I've kind of felt, because the thing with mysticism is when you study mysticism, you read about it and that's cool, but then you experience it and it's like, and then there's no words, and that's really like the 5-star moment. So one of my like feeling, and it's hard to explain, but what I was studying with the Empress, and this goes into the Tree of Life. So if you don't know about the Tree of Life, take my Master Tarot course. But no, just hit me up and I'll send you some stuff. Tree of Life is a beautiful system that at its lowest level is a blueprint for consciousness, for us, for the universe. It stems out of Jewish mysticism. Yeah, it was like totally like bootlegged out of Jewish mysticism, but hey, mimicry is the engine of creation anyway. If you don't believe me, look into the Lovers and its astrological relationship with the rest of the tarot. That's a whole nother video. Anyway, so the Empress, motherhood. See, I can't even stay on one topic. It just goes crazy. Motherhood and the Empress. Empress is the path between 2 and 3. So real quick, we have God up top hanging out. We have us down here wondering what the hell we're doing down here. We have Jesus and Buddha hanging out in Club Tiferet. What? And then we have these 2. So we have the supernal. So this is the highest spiritual. This is the lowest material. And in the path, as something manifests or is created, whether that be a chef's kiss, yeah. How much do we need to know with tarot? I've been slowly getting there. So what I'm going to do for the tarot, Master Tarot course, is I'm going to have interviews with people, and we're going to see if it's something that will work for you. Yes, total beginners are welcome, because here's the thing. When we learn tarot, I'm going on another rant. When we learn tarot, we look at an image and we learn the meanings of it, and that's great. But the way I want to teach it is I want to build it from nothingness into everythingness. I want to build it like the Tree of Life. I want to build it like it is talking about the mystical path, so that we don't start like what does this mean? We start from nothing and we build meaning, because I feel like that's more fun, and I feel like we'll lose our minds more, and I feel like it's more all at once. And the tarot is an all at once system. It's not linear. It's not like from A to Z and then you're done. It's all happening right now in this moment. That's what makes it so beautiful. It is holistic and interpenetrative. So if you're a beginner, that can work. But yeah, I'm gonna be holding like interviews and stuff, and then we're gonna jump in. It's gonna be fun. So hit me up with your email if you're interested. No experience necessary, but we'll talk about it. Okay, anyway, going to the Empress. So what happens is the oneness of everything decides to have a good time. So the oneness expands into the two-ness. Two-ness is wisdom, or Hokmah, which is like explosions. Chaos is feminine. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I can't even get into that right now. But yeah, so the oneness goes into the two-ness, and it's like expansion. And then the three-ness is form. The 3 comes in when it's like, okay, I see what you're doing there, but we got to organize this so we could like kind of have a universe and it doesn't burn out. You know, like those relationships where they're just so hot, the dopamine's flooding, the chemistry's crazy, you don't even know what's going on, and all of a sudden it's gone. Yes. So that is what would have happened with the universe if we didn't have that steady, slow, self-aware, patterning, organizing feminine energy that shows up with the 3. And the beautiful path here, the way that we do that, the way that we go from chaotic masculinity, toxic masculinity, okay? We go from the chaotic sacred masculine into the organized sacred feminine is through the Empress, okay? The Empress takes the information that the magician is giving the high priestess, the virgin, and allows the ideas to kind of explode. But the ideas, the mental images, thoughts, whatever, are 70,000 thoughts a day, are the forms through which Bina, number 3, is activating and allowing into the material universe. And the material universe is number 4, which is Chesed, which is Jupiter, which is the Wheel of Fortune and something totally different. If you're just joining me now, welcome to, what did I call this thing? Mother's Day Madness Esoteric Rant. We're talking about the Empress and psychology, Kabbalah, mysticism, and a bunch of stuff. And every so often I do a little hint pitch of my upcoming Mothership Tarot course. We're going to lose our minds. So, going back to the Empress, pretty much the way that I look at this, and this is really the tipping point of the universe. This is kind of like where it begins to just actually leave the cup into manifestation. It's a prism, okay? So we're going from Empress, we're going from sacred masculine, which is expansive, into sacred feminine, which is the idea of form, but not quite form. And in this moment, this here is the pivotal moment. It's the prism. So we have white light up here, we have this prism, and then we have all the colors, okay? So all the colors are manifest universe, the ideal world. The actual world versus the ideal, which is at the top. And that happens through the Empress, which, like consciousness and like tarot itself, includes everything and judges nothing, okay? There are no bad cards. There are only bad relationships with cards. Maybe. Okay, cool. I can dig with that. Okay. So that's kind of her cosmic real estate. She is the allower, and she's Venus, which is values, joys, all of that. Oh, her Hebrew letter. We cannot forget that. Okay, so let's talk about Dalet, which is the Hebrew letter. So Dalet, I have it written up here. So that's the Hebrew letter in my horrible Hebrew handwriting. And Dalet means door. And what is a door? You know, it's that space between one point and another point. The door is there are painful cards. Yeah. Pain is, I believe pain is part of the package. It's like what we signed up for in the incarnation. It's in like the fine print. I don't know if you guys read it, but I think suffering, I think, is optional. Suffering, this is what Sadhguru says. He says suffering is optional. It's what all the stuff that we put on around pain. Now, I'd be lying if I told you I didn't love a good amount of suffering, because I do, and I think we all do, because, you know, who doesn't love the trauma and drama? I gotta keep things interesting, gotta keep things challenging a little bit, you know? But yeah, totally there are painful cards, but it's all about, like, and this goes back to what I said about the Empress. The Empress includes everything, judges nothing, right? Including something like coronavirus, which is its own organism. So even though in our point of view, this horrible thing, it's like on the cosmic scale, and I don't mean to offend anybody by this, but like, justice doesn't care. Justice is cause and effect. Justice is Libra and the harmony of everything to exist. So on the cosmic scale, and this is a little bit more of a maybe Indian philosophy style that I'm looking at things, but it's like from the cosmic scale, it's just art coming in and out of itself. Which is a paradigm that's really popular right now that I really like, but also I really like when people go against that paradigm. So if you want to argue that, please do. I love a good paradigm makeover. Hey. I'm a philosophical masochist, so please tear my ideas apart. Great. So what was I talking about? There are painful cards. I must go. Happy Mother's Day. It was so great seeing you. It's catharsis of the spirit. So a mother's sense of justice, exactly. Haha. I love that. A mother's sense of justice. Yeah, it is that. And it's like the mother. Oh, live video paused because the alarm's going off because I have to go soon. So I have to go soon. But what did we talk about today? We talked about a lot of stuff today. If anyone's interested in this stuff, please send me a message on Instagram, or if I post this to another platform, comment it and send me your email. That's the best way to like talk to me long term. But definitely message me. tarotwithjoe.com is my website. tarotwithjoe@gmail.com is the email I'm currently using. Tarot with Joe Instagram. Tarot with Joe on Clubhouse. Hey, get value, bro. Clubhouse is really addicting. It's interesting. That's a whole other thing. Okay, anyway, hit me up. I'm going to be eventually starting this tarot master course, which is going to be huge. I'm going to post this live afterwards so everyone can watch. But just so you all know, I'm starting this tarot master course, and it's going to be 12 weeks. So it's going to be pretty intense, and it's going to be about, I'm thinking 5 people. So I'm going to have like a little interview process just to make sure that it's something that is, you know, right for you, because it's going to be a very specific way that I'm going to do it. It's going to be focused on what people want, but I'm doing it through an esoteric lens. So it's going to be less of, I mean, there's going to be reading practices. We're going to do business development as a tarot reader, and we're going to do a lot of esoteric stuff, because I really want to build the tarot up from the nothingness that exists under it, which is the Fool, you know? I feel like a lot of times most tarot books kind of work backwards in a way. It's like you look at the tarot and you already have a point of view about it, and then you take that point of view and you build on that point of view by learning meanings, which is totally a great way to start. And I know many amazing authors that do that, and they're excellent. I just kind of want to flip the script and really like look at it as a blueprint of a universe, because that's what it is to me. And then from there we'll go into like meanings, because I like taking the cosmic stuff and bringing it down to like these mundane corridors and questions and seeing how that exists like almost existentially, because it's like when you keep asking a client a question, like if it's a love question, when you keep digging and digging, it becomes something existential. And that's a very beautiful moment. When you get to the moment when you ask somebody something and there's no words, it's just an energy, that's a place. And it's from there that I want to create begin. That's something else. I didn't know that till like today though, but we will see. So if you're interested on the Tarot Master course, send me your email. We'll schedule a time to chat about it and see if it's right for you. And yeah, it'll totally have a certification too. Certifications are not needed, but as a Capricorn, I personally love them. See over there, all my certifications. I haven't hung them up, but I love them. Like, they mean a lot to me, you know? It's a Capricorn thing. Don't worry about it. No. But anyway, yeah. Any last minute questions about Empress, or people can relate easier when they see the bigger picture? Absolutely. Anyway, sorry if I missed any comments. Does anyone have any questions before I log off for today? This was the Mother's Day Madness Esoteric Rant with a side of my course advertisement. Yes, this Capricorn Moon agrees. Yeah, I love certification. Like, I know that most of the tarot community, a good portion of it, is against it. And I'm not for it legally at all. No. But I am for it personally, because all my certifications, like, I love them. And I earn those shits. Like, my latest one... my latest coaching certification, like, I earned this shit. Like, I went through some crazy-ass shit in the past couple of years to get that. And, like... I'm fucking good, bro. But yeah, my tarot certification from the Amber Stones. The Amber Stones are amazing. They're two of the smartest people I've ever met, and I got to like perform with them, and I got this beautiful little certification thing, and it's awesome. And that was a whole experience, so I'm proud of that. And yeah, so there will be certifications involved, because it's going to be a huge ass experience. So whatever you choose to do with that certification is up to you. But you don't need certifications to be a tarot reader. You just need to be good. Thank you, Danny Magic. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna log off. Thank you all for viewing this. I'm gonna post. I only got through a portion of Mommy Magic, but that's cool. I'm gonna post this on my Instagram. So if you missed it, or if you came late or whatever, you can watch it and send me your email, message, comment, or whatever. If you're interested in the master course that's coming up. And yeah, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Please remember to be your own mom. Love you.